Good morning and happy Friday. I'm at my bridge and I waited long enough so that we got a little bit of light. Weather lookout for this morning was dark and it's a little cold. So, good morning. How is everybody doing? So, all the last several weeks, we've been talking about the triad that calculates and determines how we feel, what we focus on, what our language and belief is about that, and our physiology always determines how we feel. And there was a great share by Abby after my last post, and thank you very much, Abby, because we talked about losing a loved one. My wife has recently lost her mother, and she's going through that process. And Abby shared with us her feelings with regards to that. Everybody is always entitled to their feelings. Everybody is entitled to their process. Everybody is entitled to their beliefs. Please hear me on this. I'm never saying that you cannot have a belief or have a feeling. Everybody is always entitled to their feelings and their beliefs. The point of the entire conversation with regards to the triad is that we have a choice, that we are in charge. Many times we feel, and I think for most of us, most of the time we feel like we're not in charge of how we feel, that the weather decides how we feel, that the stock market decides how we feel, that our finances decide how we feel, that other events decide how we feel. But the reality is that's not accurate. That in fact we are in charge if we want to be, and we choose how we feel, and we do that based upon those three things: language, belief, physiology. Focus, language slash belief, and physiology. All of those things determine how we feel. And if you make any distinction from any self help type of activity, it is that you can decide how you feel at any given time. Deepak Chopra has tremendous stuff on this. If you read any of his books now, Deepak Chopra is a classically trained physician. He went to Harvard Medical School. He worked at Cambridge. He was the head I think he was the head of the whole deal at Boston General, or whatever, one of those huge East Coast hospitals, in classically trained Western medicine. And then he decided to get into Ayurvedic medicine, and it's a really great story about how he got into Ayurvedic medicine. And his colleagues all thought that he was crazy. His colleagues were like, "What are you doing? I mean, this is nuts. We've gone past all of this stuff." Well, as he studied Ayurvedic medicine, he came to realize that in fact the ancient Hindus had a lot to tell us about how our body works, and people can have the exact same experience and have two completely different responses to that experience based upon physiology, language slash belief, and their focus. So one of the things that he talks about is riding a roller coaster. He's like, let's say that you go and ride the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster down in Hollywood Studios and Disney World, one of my favorite roller coasters of all time. Now, if you ride that roller coaster and to you this is absolute terror, then your body is going to produce adrenaline and cortisol, and it's going to be incredibly destructive to your body, and it's going to be a terrible event for you. But if you instead see this experience as completely euphoric, which I do, as something that is incredibly fun, and afterwards you are just filled with joy, then not only will your body respond to that in a positive way, but you will actually produce chemicals that we try to manufacture and stick into our bodies to make ourselves feel better. So if you experience euphoria from that event, your body will produce the actual tranquility molecule, as opposed to the one that we try to produce in various drugs to change how we feel about things. And it's, instead of Hoffman and LaRoche's product, you are producing the product that is perfect for your body. And it creates chemical responses that not only make you feel differently, but will help promote healing. This is the point of meditation. This is the point of visualization. Deepak Chopra was able to take people who have tumors that were non-operable, and based simply on creating a distinction for them visually about how the body systems operate, they visualize that tumor dying off, and in fact it did. Now, I'm not telling you to not go to your doctors. I'm not telling you to not do what your physician recommends. I'm never saying anything like that. The point is the belief that these people had about what was possible in their bodies, and then their physiology, and then their focus changed the body's responses to that particular situation. And we can do that with anything. So the point of the entire conversation is just to say that there's a choice. You have a choice in terms of how your body responds to things, and you do it based upon those events, based upon those three things: physiology, language, slash belief, and your focus. I've only said it 1,000 times because it's that important. Those three things decide how we feel. We decide how we feel. Make the distinction, and we all need to hear this again and again and again. We are in charge, and it is our choice. Now, is it something that you can master overnight? No, it takes a little while. It takes a while to get yourself into that situation where you remember to do all those things and remember to change your focus and remember to change that stuff. That is why incantations and all that stuff are so significant, because the more you do those, the more it becomes habitual, and then you don't have to think about it. What Abby shared for us, and thank you very much, Abby, for your share. That was a very, very brave thing to do, is she shared her belief about that event. And so that's a perfect transition to what we're going to start talking about starting tomorrow. We're going to talk about values and beliefs, which is one of those legs of that triad that I've talked to you about. But for today, simply remember and learn and start to study. Make this a study for the rest of your life of what decides how I feel, that I am in charge of how I feel. And how do I do that? How can I master that skill of managing my response to an event? Because when you learn how to do that, you change your life in an incredibly positive way and in a dramatic way. Because when you are able to respond to events, when you are able to manage your state in times of crisis and respond to events in a way that you're proud of, as opposed to a way that you look back on and go, wow, I wish I would have done that differently, now you're going to make better decisions, and people who make better decisions have a better life. So everybody is entitled to their feelings. Everybody is entitled to their beliefs. I'm never saying that you're not. The point of all of this, and I didn't invent any of this stuff, the point of all of this is we are in charge and we get to decide how we respond to events. Events don't control us. We control our response to them. Have a great Friday, everybody. I'm going to say hi to everybody. A lot of people have Mr. Dakin. Good morning. Great to see you. Patty, good morning. Great to see you. Penny, Gary Blunt, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. I know that you were not feeling that great. My great uncle Bill, love you, brother. And Paul is on, and Mary is on, and Deanne is on. We've got everybody this morning. Thank you so much for saying hi. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.